Some people don't just have faith, they strengthen yours just by standing near you. They demonstrate faith by working to be the hands and feet of Jesus in this world. Today, I want to tell you about somebody who does that quietly, consistently, and without ever needing a spotlight. Hey friends, welcome back to Light Bearers. This is a space where we talk about people who have quietly shown us what it looks like to live as light in this world. Not because they are famous or extraordinary by the world's standards, but because they choose faithfulness, presence, and love in ordinary, everyday ways. If Hope Lit explores ideas, Light Bearers shows us what those ideas look like in real life. Today, I want to talk to you about someone who has strengthened my faith simply by being who she is. Her name is Anne. Anne is not a public figure. She doesn't lead from a stage. She doesn't seek attention or recognition. And yet, wherever she goes, light and faith seem to grow. Anne is the kind of person who consistently supports other people's faith, not by correcting, not by performing, but by encouraging, by showing up, by serving, and by believing, often before people believe in themselves. She has a way of quietly reminding people that God is near and that they are not alone. There was a season when I hadn't seen Anne in a while. I reached out to her to ask if she was planning to attend a women's prayer event. She told me that she hadn't planned on it, that she had other things going on her calendar. But then she added something that I won't forget. She said, "If you're going, I'll come, just to see you and encourage you." Anne changed her plans, not for the event, not for the program, but for a person. That's Anne. She moves towards people, not platforms. That same posture showed up in a powerful way during the pandemic. When schools began assembling school lunchboxes for students learning remotely, many families struggled just to get to the pickup location. Anne noticed. She didn't wait for a committee, and she didn't wait for permission. She simply appointed herself as a delivery service. She brought lunches to families who needed them, quietly, faithfully, without fanfare. No announcement, no recognition, just light moving exactly where it was needed. And Anne doesn't confine herself to families and children. She has 5 boys, all actively involved in 4-H. And I have seen her get emergency calls or texts or emails for rabbit food. Rabbit food. And Anne springs into action, making sure that families have what they need, even with respect to their livestock. Anne consistently encourages faith in others. She promotes meaningful community events. She supports fundraisers and organizations she believes in. She shows up with her time, her resources, and her presence. She's not a woman of excess, but she's a woman of open hands. And because of that, people feel seen, strengthened, encouraged, and steadied in her presence. At Hope Lit, We often talk about Chesed, the love that moves first. Anne lives that. She doesn't wait to be asked. She doesn't wait to be needed officially. She simply notices, and then she moves. That's what light does. It doesn't argue with the darkness. It doesn't announce itself. It simply shows up and changes everything. So here's the reflection I want to leave you with today. Who has been an Anne for you or your community in your life? And how did that change your understanding of God? And just as importantly, who might God be calling you to encourage this week? If someone comes to mind, someone who has inspired you by their service, by their faithfulness, by their light, I'd love for you to tell us about them in the comments. Their names matter. Their stories matter. And just as importantly, if someone is calling you to serve, someone specifically, please tell their stories in the comment. Their names matter. Their stories matter. And you matter. Your story, your calling matters. Light multiplies when we tell the truth about where we've seen it. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep bearing light.